on the road, headed to Nebraska. I got one tag left. It is about 1 o'clock on May 6th. So I'm tagged out in Iowa. My kids are tagged out here. Got a week before we head to Wisconsin to hunt with Austin. So I'm going to go and try to fill my last tag. It's Monday today. Unfortunately, there's high winds and a thunderstorm going through there this evening, supposedly. But Tuesday, Wednesday look pretty darn good. And I gotta be home Thursday to work. So we're getting out there early just in case the thunderstorm maybe lets up, or might be able to figure out something today. But basically it's to knock out the 4-hour drive. So we'll be out there for tomorrow morning's sit. So we'll see. Who knows? Gonna get out there, see what the weather looks like, and then adjust accordingly. So hopefully it's a good trip. Alright, well, I made it to the area that I hunt and just had a huge storm system go through, like thunder and lightning and hail and rain. But it blew through pretty fast. At least the red stuff on the radar did. So now it's just sprinkling a little bit, and it's only 5:30. So I think I did the right thing by coming out to the area. And I'm gonna do a little driving around and see if I can't spot birds out moving around and see if I can't make a move on them tonight. I'm gonna go to a different area in the morning if this doesn't work out. So this is kind of a bonus situation going on. So, but it doesn't get dark for a couple more hours. We just had rain come through. Very good chance they might be out and about trying to dry off before they go to roost. So we're gonna see what we can do. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and catch one out and about. Fingers crossed. All right. Well, I just got out to one of my spots, drove by, and there are a bunch of birds sitting out there. So it's still raining pretty good. I had one cross the road up in front of me, and so I ran up there making sure that they weren't all gonna go, and they're all still sitting out in the middle. So I'm gonna get pulled over off the edge of the road and sneak down in there. It's too wet to bring all the camera stuff, but I'm gonna bring the GoPro and see what I can do. So wish me luck. Right. I circled around the birds, but there was one in this field. I don't know where he went, but they're up there. I can see I'm pretty sure it's a tom. It's a big bird. I just need him to break and work this way. Looks like he might be working this way a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to get any footage or not. Well, upon further review, there's a big flock of jakes and a couple hens. So I let them kind of work off. They didn't commit anyways, but I let them work off. And I'm gonna head back to the truck. Keep driving around. The rain's probably 95% done right now, so it should make it easy to see birds, because I would assume they're gonna be out and about, but you never know. So get back to the truck and keep after it. Good morning. It's May 7th. We're here in Nebraska. We're sitting on a feedlot when Mitch and I were here earlier in the year bow hunting. We sat here and there were birds everywhere, gobbling like crazy. It's definitely different this morning. I haven't heard a thing. I got here super early, like probably over an hour before shooting light, because I had to walk past the draw where the birds were at to set up. So I got back in this little overgrown pasture on the edge of the feedlot. Thought for That sucked. Not a single bird, and we're in a big commercial cattle yard. My buddy Tanner, he's friends with one of the guys that works here, so like I said, Mitch and I hunted here once. We had one day to hunt it. Birds all over the place. It was just so windy. They pitched down in the bottom of the draw and left, so made it really, really hard to get on them then. And there's just so much area they can be in, and if they're not right there, they're not going to be there. So they could be there later for sure. They like to come up in the yard and pick out of the cattle bunks, but yeah, unfortunately drove about 45 minutes for nothing. But that happens. It sucks, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna get out of here, head back towards town, and hopefully find some birds. Like I said, it's not even 7 o'clock yet, but if they're not right there and you don't know where they're at, they could be a mile away and not be showing up anytime soon. So I'm gonna cut my losses, head back and see if I can go find one somewhere else. But like I said, I might end up coming back here at some point. We'll see. All right, well, first farm was a bust. There's really only one spot that these birds can be on that farm, and they weren't there this morning, so that definitely sucks. But I came to another farm. Unfortunately, once again, the birds had just left this farm and were across the road, but they kind of move all over the place right here. I've killed a couple birds off of here before, and you just never know. They can just show up. They move around all over the place. They can be across the river and fly across. They can be from behind you, picking in the cattle yard, and then come out. So I brought the Jake HDR out and kind of put it in an opening where if they're in the horse pasture to my west, they can see the Jake, or if they're in this big grass field out in front of me, it's the best case scenario for them to see it. If they're over the hill, they can't, but you know, it can't be perfect all the time. So made me a little makeshift blind right here with an old cedar tree. Got the gun ready. Now honestly, I'm just gonna start calling and see if I can't bring something in. Who knows? This might work. It might not, but we're gonna give it a go for a little bit. Go get some lunch after a while, and then figure out what we're gonna do this afternoon. Well, gave it about 2.5, 3 hours. Had the one hen way on the other end of the field, and I had one sneak in behind me, and she fed on through, and then I heard a couple gobbles. Pretty sure they were Jakes up in the feed yard. They gobbled twice in like 2 minutes, and that was 45 minutes ago, and they haven't done it since. Well, I repositioned, and I think when I repositioned, I bumped the one hen that came through, and she flew over the feed yard, so I don't know if that spooked them or what, but I'm gonna head back to the truck, make another round, and then probably head back, go get some lunch, regroup, and get a game plan for this evening. I snuck out here to put the chain decoy up, and a bird's out in the field. I'm glad I brought my gun, so I'm just sitting here waiting to see what he's gonna do. Hopefully he comes in, we'll see. one of them hunts that just happened. Had 3 of them come in, 3 jakes. I'm not opposed to shooting a jake on basically the last day I got, so I drove 4 hours here yesterday, hunted last night, no luck, hunted this morning, nothing, midday, nothing. Came out here to sit for a few hours, and as I was walking out, this one and 2 others crested the hill, and as I was getting my Avian X out right there, they started walking right in. Luckily I had my gun with me. I almost didn't grab it when I went to put the decoy out, but I thought, you know, they might see me and I could get stuck, and that's exactly what happened. I laid down right next to the decoy, and you can see we're 10 paces away maybe, and he let out his last gobble and I let it eat. So I'm happy, I'm excited, and I get to go home with another bird. So tagged out in Nebraska. Next week we're headed to Wisconsin.